Welcome. Oh, wait. 3, 2, 1-ish.
3.
That's 5.
5, 3, 4.
Oh, 5.
5.
Let's skip the numbers. Ready?
Okay. Welcome
to another
episode
of
Right to the
Res.
With your favorite host,
Inelia,
and Larry.
It makes
We kind of
trickier.
Yes. Can you tell us where you are?
Well, I'm at Swiftsure Bank. They call it Swiftsure Bank, where they keep all the money.
You're where we keep all the money? The fish?
Yeah, Swiftsure Bank. All the fish money hangs out here, halibut, salmon. Somehow, some way, I ended up with myself out here on the ocean. Actually, I'm here.
Yeah.
We're going to catch a fish, and it's an interesting experience because it's been a couple of years. Literally, it feels like it's been a couple of years since we went salmon fishing, and it's been a couple of years since we've been out on.
Oh, I lost your picture.
Yeah.
There you are.
My charger.
Okay.
It's been a couple of years since we've been out on our Nork. And, yeah, it's different. It's kind of different in the sense that, it's a past life. It feels like a past life, like a distant memory life.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's parts that are like engaging and parts that are like, oh yeah, I remember about this past life. I wasn't so fond of that. But it does feel like more past life than my current life. And so, in a way, it's an interesting experience to, feel like what it would feel like to go be one of your past lives.
Wow. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
The funny part is I would think that it would be like an adventure and cool, and it's more like, I've done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, done that in there. That kind of energy.
I've been trying to connect with the high frequency life of that life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like bring this life's state of consciousness or state of being or frequency or something and superimpose it over the other one. Or I think it mesh it and then try and live it that way or something. I guess I'm trying to say is there experience here for expansion of awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of those was connecting with the fish, of course, and salmon, because they were calling me to come out here. And I was like, you guys know how hard it is to get out here? I haven't been out here for 2 years. And he's like, well, swim. It's not that hard. That's all you want. It's like the gazelles eat grass, right?
Eat grass, yeah.
Just go eat some grass. Well, they're just like, so just swim. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with you?
You can't forget that.
Yeah.
It did turn out to be a week's worth of work to get the boat back in shape, good enough to go leave the dock, and reasonably safe. It's condition. It's not like everything's back to the way it was when we parked it, but it's close. There were a lot of challenges on the way, and that was one of the things that was interesting is that I felt when I first started that I had to have a little battle. It felt like a battle to get out here, battle to go, battle to rejoin that life in a way. So nuts that were rusty were biting the whole way off. I don't know. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but usually when you have a rusty on nut, and you get it a little bit loose, then it'll come the rest of the way easy. It's just like once you get it broken free, it just comes easy. We didn't have none of that. They were harder. And then when you cut it off and you put it back on, it was hard to put it back on even. Like, oh my goodness,
boy.
you guys. So that's where it felt like battle, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Battle. But I think there was just challenge.
Yeah. I think I know you talked about fighting with the boat and battle and all those energies. And I know those energies have come through in the past when you've gone fishing, when you used to go fishing before. But when I looked at it, I didn't see and perceive that from the other side, the boat side. I perceived, I love you, I support you, and yeah, I've got some itches and I've got some scratches and I've got things you need to look at so they don't break in the ocean. So I'm going to support you and everything's going to happen here rather than out there. That type of energy, you know, like protective energy.
Exactly, right.
Yeah. But it does feel like it's something that is part of the past, you know?
Yep.
To me, it feels like a replay, you know, it's like, oh, let's watch the movie one more time. This year.
Yeah, so I've been doing that exercise, so I'm connected to the collective, the fish club, the salmon, you know, because they called me out here and I did all of the work and I answered the call. And it's, I think many people probably have a different idea of what going commercial fishing, salmon fishing is, you know. There's like a romantic version, I think, and then there's Deadliest Catch version, maybe, and there's a lot of different versions that go through a person's head. And it does certainly have its moments. That's pretty cool, but there's a lot of, you know, dirty, oily, grimy, greasy.
Bloody.
It's not the most bloody, messy, sharp, heavy, those kind of things. And noisy and stinky. My nose is turned off. I don't think you might be able to notice my voice is a little different.
Yeah.
My nose is a bit, I'll just call it spiked.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to go fishing with who you can go fishing with. And they were delivered by the collective.
Yeah, the human collective delivered them. Yeah.
Delivered them, and they really, really want to go, and they're really happy to be here. And they have got one complaint, not one bit. None. Zero.
Zero what?
Zero complaints. Everything's peaches and cream. It's like, heavy? What? Not heavy. Stinky? Are you kidding me? That don't stink.
Yeah.
Right. So my challenge has been how to engage with it at a higher frequency, I guess. Not to the degree, like, it almost sounds like you're like too good for it, or like better than that, or I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not so much that. It's that you're almost in your brain going to the tavern where they're serving whiskey and having fights. That's where you go and try to embody a higher frequency.
Right.
You've got your work cut out for you.
Yes.
It's not that you're better than that. It's that's not your environment anymore.
Yeah. It's different.
It's different. But
different. Yeah.
Can it be a tavern that doesn't have low frequency? I don't know. That's the nature of the place.
Yeah.
In ways, right?
Yeah.
These are questions. What do you think, Annie? Help me out here. Last night you helped. Last week you helped when you explained that the boat was saying, "Hey, these things need fixed, or else they're going to break out there. So we're going to make sure they're good and fixed here first." And I remember saying multiple times to the guys, "It's like it's much better we're working on this here than out there." And when you said it too, it was like, okay, not so much fight, not so much battle, all the things.
It's supportive, yeah. First. Yeah, because things age, you know, and the boat's old and ages, right? If you sit down for 2 years in the damp, it's going to age. It's going to get rusty and aged, you know?
And it is 98 years old. This year.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
99 years old is how old our boat is.
And it's good. It's a good boat, you know.
It's a good boat.
Hi, Brett. We're recording our podcast. Come and say hi to all our audience.
Hello. I am here because Pepe escaped from his cage.
Oh,
Unless you let him out. Did you let him out?
no, I did not let Pepe out.
He escaped.
You want to show Pepe to everybody?
Pepe
For those who are listening,
Pepe.
Pepe is our rescue.
Chipmunk.
Yeah, because he does jump out.
I know.
He escaped his cage. I have no idea how he did that.
He's the cutest thing ever.
And our cats are very interested.
Yeah.
He says, oh, there's my food. See,
Our food.
Do we have anything better to hold him in for now? Should I put him back in his old box?
Mm.
Well, he has his large aviary at the Shaman Shack.
Oh,
Just have
yeah,
to get that.
We'll
I
bring
guess
him.
the box, yeah, we'll bring that other cage over. Yeah, we'll bring the other cage over later. And for now, yeah, maybe the box.
Okay.
Inside the cage, I don't know.
Well, just turn the cage around so that the door can't open.
Did the door open? Was the door open?
No, he escaped without opening the door.
He escaped without opening the door.
That's magic. So the box isn't going to work because it can shoot right through a box. Just
Yeah,
because
just put him back in, but I don't know what to tell you.
Well, hopefully he can't escape the room.
Okay, yeah, hopefully you can't escape the room.
Well,
The
how much can you do?
chicken scratches of life.
The chicken scratches are getting scratchy around, aren't they? So this is kind of what going fishing felt like too. Was a little bit like chicken scratches because there are some involved, right? Like one of the reasons to go fishing, obviously, is to catch fish. For commercial fishing, so that is the same thing as catching some money. And so you don't want to be spending more money than you're catching. And at the same time, you have to spend a certain amount of money in order to go. And, do you get half a gallon of milk or just a pint of milk? Do you have enough milk for one cup of coffee or a cup of coffee and a bowl of cereal, or do you have a gallon of milk and you have an extra? Well, there's a lot of things to see. If you're at the end of 2.5 or 3 days and the fishing finally gets good on the 4th day, but you run out of milk, I'm using milk figuratively speaking.
Right.
So you just keep fishing, now you're finally catching, or what? So there's a lot of calculus going on. And those are kind of chicken scratches. So instead of that chicken scratch, just to connect with what will support this journey,
Yeah.
period. What will support this journey?
Yeah.
Okay, with that, answer is turned out to be $800, which is, I guess, part of the expansion of the money supply or something.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that wasn't even all food, but all the same, that's at least double and a half what normally would be.
Yeah.
All we got was hot dogs and bologna, milk, potato chips,
Yeah.
bread. Uncanny. And then our first night out, right? First night, we got out here, we went to the boat at noon, we left the dock, and there was a couple other things that the boat wanted done before we actually left them. We went out and we actually came back. Fixed a stabilizer pole and a shackle here and there, and a block of pulley thing. Got everything done, got out there 3.5, 4 hours late. We got here to the grounds and started fishing. Woo! All of our hooks and stuff were put away from 2 years ago, so we started putting them out. And they aren't the right ones for where we are, the right depths and this thing. So it took us a good half an hour to put our hooks out. And of course, there's a bunch of boats in the way, and we're turning the wrong way in front of them. And everybody's like, "What are you doing? Where are you going? That's the wrong way. You can't turn here." It's like, "I'm busy. I can't pay no attention. You guys get out of my way." Oh my gosh. We got our gear out.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, "What are you doing?" Well, we got out here and we got 4 fish the whole day. 4. That's 1 per person.
Oopsie. That's not enough to pack for the trip.
Not enough for the. That's not enough for the groceries.
No.
Yeah. So I think you told me to connect with the Salmon Collective, did I? And I told you that no, I hadn't really yet because I kind of got really busy just getting the boat fixed. Not thinking about boat. I was thinking about swimming and not about the fish. Guess what? I fixed the swimming. I'm swimming to you now. So that's how I do it at night. And I did last night. I drifted way off into way over there. So it was way over there. There's a lot of salmon hanging around. So I let them all know where I was. And this morning when I came down with my hooks out in the water, looks like I'm the one who did the connection with the salmon and my fishing partner didn't.
Uh-oh.
Because I got all my hooks. He don't got them on his hooks. So I might have to explain to them that, he's with me.
Yeah,
So
you have to tell him.
my pod.
Yeah.
Try that
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
It's quite hilarious, really, because every hook has a fish. They're often very, very large. Sometimes they're a little smaller. Just give them a hello. I'll get you later. You're too little. Got to go up for a little while first. That kind of stuff. So we're going to have a conversation going, which is nice.
Oh, we lost connection. Well, guys,
See your face.
hopefully Larry will reconnect from the boat. But just to let you know that, there he is. Can you hear us again? Okay, you're back.
Yeah, I was connected with the fish. It was a nice conversation. It kind of feels like an ongoing conversation now. Instead of a do it, then stop, or hello, and then stop, it's like an ongoing conversation. And as we were talking, a couple of whales come by and swim right next to the boat. They were right next to us, swimming alongside, and they're just about as big as the boat. They're huge whales.
Wow.
Usually when we encounter whales, they will, see the boat and they'll go like, "Rrr," take off running, or they'll just completely ignore you. It's like boat.
Yeah.
I'm eating here, but
Yeah.
these ones come over to us and then turned and went alongside of us and stuck his head out, and started puffing, and had a friend with him, and it was giant, looked like a matriarch.
Wow.
Matriarch energy is what it looked like, because it was twice the size of all the rest of them, although it was the same kind. Twice the size.
Wow.
And it was, the skin was aged, It's not like, I don't think whales get wrinkles, but if whales got wrinkles, this one had wrinkles.
Wow.
It was
That's
matriarch.
amazing. Maybe it was Michael.
Maybe.
Archangel Michael from our book, Interview with an Angel. But I was thinking that it probably recognized the sound of the North, the ship, and it came to say hi because they hadn't seen you for 2 years. Because they're very sound oriented,
Yeah, true.
And they had come to you before in your birthday. Remember, they came to you on your
They
birthday
did.
that day.
Look at me on my birthday. Yeah.
It's a couple
I
of
wonder
3
if I
years.
have that video still. I can share that on our second hour subscribe star. Remember that video?
Yeah.
With 100 whales. I woke up with 100 whales around me, puffing and snorting and singing and doing all their whale stuff. They were singing happy birthday.
They were, yeah. And your birthday's coming up soon again, huh?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Next week. Chocolate cake and pizza is what I got on the list.
Yep.
Hopefully it times out where I'm actually home instead of on the ocean, even though I'm usually on the ocean on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how it happens. The way fishermen's birthdays work is whatever day they get back, that's their birthday.
Right. Yeah. That's when you celebrate it.
That's what
Well, there's lots of people here that want to celebrate you. So you can't get away with, no, it's not my birthday. We're not having a party this year.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So, again, guess to recap a little bit, it feels like I am joining in a past life.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it feels like when you go to a high school reunion. I've never went to one of those, but it's probably a similar feeling, huh?
I have no idea. I've never been to one either.
I can imagine it is. Or like, yeah. Well, the reason I think that's interesting is because our past lives and our earlier in this lives having them being separate in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
So it's kind of like why why probably we don't remember so much our past lives, or if we do, we just remember the zeitgeist or the je ne quoi or whatever of it, the energy of that life. You have that bundle, but the actual doings of it, not so much.
Right, like the essential energy from that life.
Yeah, the essence of it. Yeah, you carry the essence of it, but your individual experience is not as relevant or important, I guess. Or maybe they are, but they're part of a different frequency of you.
I think that's more accurate. They're like a different frequency of you and a different everything. And if you had, it's funny because you always talk about how with policemen, they don't stop being police when they go home or with their friends. You know, it's like an identity thing. But you always had that, and you never saw it. I don't know if you saw it, but maybe you didn't. So Larry and fisherman were the same thing. And then suddenly you spent 2 years not being the fisherman, and the identifying factor, the defining factor of fishing kind of left your field, right?
Completely, yeah.
And just as you were saying it, no, I'm not a fisherman anymore. Boom, you're a fisherman again. I think one of the aspects is that this time around you don't have to make it a defining factor, right? And you even talked about training that crew and letting them go fishing for the boat, and you can do other things, right? But it allow it to still be supportive, but not have to be there doing type thing, right?
Yeah, an evolution of it, I suppose. Well, like right now, Moan is his name, Ramon. We just call him Moan. He's running my side of the gear. He hasn't done it very much. Once or twice 2 years ago on this boat. Since then, not. So he's doing my side while we're having our podcast, and he's quite excited about it.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, there's something to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a coincidence, right? That you handed your over to do this podcast and do this work, right? It's like a transition. And I think that a lot of people think that change comes like instantly. And I think that a lot of people get afraid because they think that change comes instantly. But to me, the enduring change, the good change happens through time space, right? It happens gradually, and it's a transfer. Like when I talk about Benz Academy, I talk about passing on the torch of the teaching aspect of my work. And when I talk about the ineliabenz.com website, I talk about the passing on of the torch of the dissemination of the information and tools, right? So passing on the torch to these other individuals. And it's a gradual, slow thing. And there's lots of energies involved with that because, you and I are the type of individuals who are leaders who do, like, you're not a crew in the ship, you're the captain, right? And in my work, it's been like that too. I've been the captain, and now time to transfer those things to others so we can concentrate on bringing in that material information, and that others can then drive, go fishing with
Right.
it. Yeah. So I think it's just a transition. I don't think, I might be wrong, but from your energy saying, it's not the same, and it's not, you stopped that to connect. I said, oh no, we can take a break, a summer break, from the podcast. You said, no, not gonna happen. We're not taking a break. I like that. I like doing our podcast, and our audience are waiting for us, and oh, got disconnected again. I don't know which side is recording, whether it's mine or Larry's and who disconnected, but there he's back. But yeah, I was just saying that, it's like, it's a choice, and it's very significant to me that you left your side, your hooks to come and record. It indicates a decision or a level of commitment to me, to the work.
Well, interesting and unexpected, and a little bittersweet,
Bittersweet.
Speaking of bittersweet, how about our chickens?
Yes,
Who
we
knew
have.
chicken scratches would be so many chicken scratches.
I know, that's a lot of chicken scratches. Yes.
So for people who aren't familiar, we live on a 50-foot 1950s wooden yacht. Remember?
Yes.
Has a beautiful
We were
salon.
happy. That's all we needed as a home.
It has a
Yeah.
refrigerator, a very nice refrigerator, a stove. It has a shower that lasts forever. You change the water, remember?
Yeah.
Queen size bed and a forward bunk area for Brett. Or when he's not there, storage for our olive oil and our spaghetti noodles.
Yes.
And a back porch that led out to our paddle boards.
Yeah.
And we have one cat.
Yes.
Yep. And we had a dog too.
Then we had, oh yeah, you had a dog. You came with a
Had
dog.
a dog.
We
Very
had a
fuzzy
dog. And we had a cat, this one.
Dora, that one. Hey, Dora.
Dora,
Oh, she looks
adorable.
really happy.
Yeah.
Then we got another cat.
We got another cat, yes.
Even though it was a short-term cat, he said it will be short-term. Do you want him? I was like, no, let's see. What does he look like? And then we looked at him and was like, oh, yes.
Don't care how short.
Better than no time.
Yeah.
And somehow we ended up with a dog again, another dog.
Yes.
And, our dog was getting old and needed a puppy.
Yeah. To keep her alive. Yeah. Got another dog. And that was still okay. It was tough.
It was getting
crowded.
It was getting a little crowded because our cats were giant.
Very
And we
giant.
had managed to arrange it so that our giant cats, they were outside. That was okay, but it was causing me a little bit of strain and stress because they were walking up the marina all the way up to the parking lot.
Yes.
I don't really like my cats in the parking lot of the road.
No.
It just doesn't seem good. So it's
And
causing
then-
things.
And then the water got cut off for a year, so we couldn't live there anymore. And
Well-
once we moved,
Yeah, when we got landlocked for a little while,
yes,
we saw chickens in the store. What are you gonna do?
yeah, we got tricked. Because we saw some that we needed rescuing, so we went to buy things to rescue those chickens, and we saw babies. So we got a bunch of baby chickens.
To go with the big ones because we had a bunch of big ones abandoned on the side of the road. That's how it
Mm. Yeah, and then when we got back to catch those big ones, they were all gone. Somebody had rescued them. One of our neighbors had rescued them
Our
already.
neighbor rescued them right that minute before us.
Yeah.
We were thinking, how the heck are we going to catch those things? And it was like, I know what, get some chicken food. That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was chicken food everywhere on the ground. They did the same trick.
And then we had the babies, of course, so we had to take care of those. You can't take those to the boat.
No, I don't know. Even if the water's fixed, you can't bring chickens onto the boat.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
then,
not-
and then the coyote started killing our chickens, so we got an LGD, livestock guardian dog.
Yeah, Chiz giant breed, and it turns out we didn't read the directions that good. It turns out those LGDs need a giant fence.
Yes.
And if we had just built the fence in the first place, the coyotes couldn't have got through it.
Right.
But we ended up with a giant guardian dog and a giant fence to keep the dog in,
Yes.
and the chickens on the other side of the fence. And that worked out okay. She kept the chickens safe. But there were a lot of fences involved because it turns out chickens are messy and they like going on your porch and pooping everywhere.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Chicken scratches everywhere, and then they get in your garden, they eat your baby carrots and your baby beets.
Yeah.
So you have to put
Then-
more fences and more nets.
Then we moved to our home, our hill house, and we took our dogs. Of course, we actually left Lucy down there, the LGD, the big one. But the second day we went back, I went to say hi to her, and she started crying in my arms. And I'm like, I can't leave her. I'm sorry, I can't do it. So I took her, and then of course the chickens started getting killed by the dog across the street and coyotes. So last night, Dan had enough, and I talked to him, and he said he'd had enough of the chickens getting killed by that dog and probably coyotes. So I said, okay, so maybe tonight lock the coop, and tomorrow we'll dry the coop up here. He arrived last night.
All the chickens.
With the coop and all the chickens. He said, nah, I'm not going to wait. Here it is, and it'll be able to sleep tonight. So now we have a whole bunch of chickens up at the hill house.
We have a whole bunch of chickens, a whole bunch of dogs, a whole bunch of
I feel tricked.
tricked again. Yeah, everything. Everything all over. And no fence.
No offense.
And now Lucy's in heat.
And our other dog, because we've got another LGD, he's a boy and he hasn't been fixed because you can't fix them until they're 2 years old, and he's only 1. And they're trying to make babies all night.
Yeah.
He got away from we locked him up and he got out. And yeah, it hasn't been pretty. So we better not have those puppies because that's not a good combo. She's not a good line.
She has broken hips. She also
And
has
that's a broken jaw. Yeah, short jaw. Plus also she had an accident some years back. The people remember they sent money for us to be able to help with her medical expenses. And she has a broken hip, and getting her fixed is bad because then the hips probably collapse. But also, if she gets pregnant, she will probably die trying to give birth, and C-sections is also extremely dangerous for that large of a dog. And yeah, so now we're
all the choices
scratches, everything, chicken scratches.
Those are all chicken scratches.
Yeah, we need to figure out something for her. Yeah,
and our Fossil Beach property.
Yeah, our Fossil Beach property is being fine. Yeah, with the community property is being fine. We have a shed there. We talked about bringing the shed over here to the house, simply because we're not using it. But yeah, we had a shed there. We one of our co-creators had a trailer, a
trailer with picnic supplies. And
yeah, food and camping supplies. Yes. And yesterday got broken into. Right, they drove through the chain, and yeah, they got in and broke everything and took everything. Chicken scratches.
Chicken scratches.
Yeah. But it's good to remember that we're still in that paradigm, right? Silpu, power over others paradigm. And it's important to know that when you're a caretaker of a land, you can't just leave it there for weeks on end, It's part of what it is you can't do that. And there's a responsibility for taking care of the land and anything that you put on it. And it's like we live in an area, if it's not human predators, we do have bears, cougars, coyotes here that they're dangerous to humans too, not just the chickens. Right?
Mice.
Lots of mice, yeah. Yes, lots of mice and that were destroying the house, right? And
Oh,
with our
yeah.
cats, they did good work of the mice. And yeah, they did. They got rid of the mice. Our cats.
Yes, they did. With Ronnie's encouragement.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah,
interesting
chicken
to
scratches.
see that it's, you know, despite what you might think, life has chicken scratches. Sometimes chicken scratches scratch, and it could be you should have paid more attention. You should have XYZ. You should have XYZ, and you should this and that, and all the other things. And there's, you know, there's blame, and there's that kind of thing that comes. But there's also another sense, which is what you just said, is, you know, it is a light dark paradigm right now, and you are in a co-created reality, and part of this reality includes that, and you are embodying the high frequency new paradigm, but you're embodying it, and it still exists around you. It's not like you're an island to yourself again, right?
Right.
If it were to be instant, I think that the tear apart feeling would be, I think it would be resemble the, and trying to go back to a past life type of thing. It might resemble that in some way. And there would be a lot of, I think that the net result wouldn't be what you would expect. It's just like all high frequency and butterflies. It would be like you experienced, or said you experienced, the Lemurians expressed how they experienced the split. That it was traumatic.
Yeah, it is traumatic, and you know, it's like you have to be street smart, right?
So our agreement was to go 3 generations and have an easier split.
Yeah,
and
that's
didn't
our,
have to die in trauma.
yeah,
So,
exactly. That was our collective choice, right? To take time doing the split.
right. So it does mean, I think that means it's in one sense it takes longer. I mean, clearly it would take longer. If it's 3 generations instead of instant.
Yes.
And in the period of time in splitting, you're splitting. And I don't know if you've ever split before, if you ever got a divorce or broke up with your boyfriends or whatever, girlfriends. Sometimes splitting takes a little while, and things are involved, and it's not an instant process, right?
Yep, you're right.
So it's not necessarily the most pleasant process either, although in some cases it can be better than others.
Yeah.
So in our case, the chickens and the chicken scratches, they're all here, they're all with you, with us, and they have their dogs, and their dogs are happy to be on the job. The dogs probably miss their chickens. Now you get your eggs right away, and if we'd have brought them right away, we maybe not have had to deal with the interim part of the scratches.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're busy. We have a lot of things going on. Similarly, the land and taking care of it, we had decided and kind of withdrew some of our energy of it, because we had planned to take our camper trailer, put it there. We have a shed that was to hold our electrical, our solar stuff on top, and our satellite, and then we're going to build a porch. So we'll pull our trailer in and have a porch and use the shed, and have our like utilities and our bikes and whatever, and spend time there. We kind of withdrew our energy.
We did.
We pointed it at the hill house, and we took our wood to make the porch, and that's at the hill house, making a porch there instead.
Yeah.
And the trailer, that's at the hill house too. It was going to go to the res instead of the Fossil Beach, and we were actually going to move that shed, but I didn't call. I bet you if I'd have called, he would have done it last week.
Yeah, I bet.
As it was, they broke in, they didn't take anything, but they just, you know, didn't
The
even
door. Yeah.
So it's kind of like it tells me as you withdraw your energy from a thing, then it kind of can be, what's the word, open to engagements.
Well, you leave a vacuum. Yeah, it's like not claimed, you know, and you leave a vacuum, and when you leave a vacuum, it gets filled, right? Other people think it's free for all. So, I mean, it happened here too. The old owners of the house, they had several break-ins because they weren't here. and they would only visit like very rarely. And our neighbor, who also only comes over very, very rarely,
He also had his
Yeah.
house got broken into, and his well got took. His well,
his well got took.
switches and his levers and things like that. The pump from the well, for crying out loud.
Yes, bizarro. Yeah.
All of his tools and things like that, right?
So, you know, it's like if you leave it, people will know. And it's part of the light dark paradigm where we're still at, you know, we're still there. We're still transitioning. And sometimes you get reminders, hey, you know, you have to be more diligent, you know. If you're
That's
going to
that is another thing that we could explore is how do you claim something and keep your claim. So they
Well,
break it up.
yeah, having had land that I wasn't able to visit very often in the past, what I did was put proper barriers up that people couldn't break, you know, because it's like if you make it easy, they will, right? But if you make it difficult, they won't.
Well,
These people are opportunists, you know.
yeah, I thought that would be. You remember one of the locks on the trailer. The trailer locks are locksmith approved locks that nobody can get through. Can't cut it with a grinder. You can't break it with dynamite. You can't break it with a thingy. Nothing. Those locks that thing was locked up with are the best locks ever invented. So they just broke the door, and all of their hardware, the lock didn't get broke. It's like I didn't think that would ever happen. That was
Yeah. Yeah. But the gate was easy. I mean, there was no gate, so.
Oh, it was steel wire and steel poles in the ground. I thought that was strong.
No. But yeah, so that it's like looking back, you can see that there is an opportunity. People staked it out, checked it out, got in. So, you know, opportunity. They thought there was precious things in there, and they went and get things. You know, some things got taken. You know, it wasn't just like nothing got taken, right? But it's also us. I mean, you know, as owners, we need to take care of our things and our land because we're not in the light paradigm yet. We need to realize that. If you have properties or whatever, you need to look after it. The land itself too. It needs landscaping, it needs, you know, taking care of. The trees need attention and all that. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's probably part of the lesson of this week. It does feel like things are becoming a bit spicy. Lots of shifts, lots of change, lots of like the tree's getting shook. Feels like the tree's getting shook a bit.
Right. To me, it's the same as, you know, we left the north, the ship 2 years, and of course the batteries are going to go dry, and then it's going to have rust on the nails and bolts and things. And it's the same with land. There's no difference. And this is just one of those symptoms of, you know, kind of don't neglect what you have. And if you can't look after it, release it. It's fine. Right? You don't have to hold on to all sorts of things. If you don't have the time, just release it. Yeah.
But I don't wanna.
You don't wanna.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is that's the interesting part because you do wanna and you don't wanna.
Yes.
So I think the problem.
That is the core of the split. You wanna, but you don't wanna.
You wanna,
Yes.
but you don't wanna.
Exactly. That's the core of it. You wanna, but you don't wanna. Good conclusion.
Good conclusion. I think you figured it out. You wanna, but you don't wanna.
Uh-huh. And that's normal. And
I guess we should explore that. We'll explore that in our second hour.
That's a great idea. I like that. Yeah, let's do
Gotta
that.
think about the wanna, don't wanna. It's kind of like the touch me, don't touch me.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, this will be interesting to chew on.
Yeah.
We got a few days to think about it. Wanna,
do.
don't wanna. Because clearly, we want to split, and we do not want to split.
Correct. Yes. You got it. Good job. Yay! Yeah.
Alrighty.
Love you, darling.
Love you too, babe. all the chickens and cats and dogs and everybody hugs for me. Have a nice Sunday.
Okay. All right. Bye, darling.
I love you.
Love you.